Hi, I'm Archie the dog trainer with Canine Energy Dog Training. Today we're going to go over some of all the equipment that we're going to be using. And we're going to start with the leather leash. And this is a 6-foot leather leash. Nice leather. I like the 3/4 inch wide leash. And one of the best parts about this leash is that it's got a nice brass clip, which is indestructible. It's a lot better than your usual zinc clips that can rust and have problems. These ones are going to last much longer. Can you zoom in on that? Yeah, there you go. So with this, if you're using this leather leash, you want to only be using this during training or when you're monitoring the dog, because it's ideal for training. But if you're not paying attention, like let's say you put this on your dog and they drag the leash through the house, and you're letting them drag the leash through the house, it's not ideal because dogs are going to be drawn to chewing leather. So one tooth mark and the leash kind of gets a little bit messed up. So you only want to, if you want to use a rope leash for something like where like you're going to be having less of your attention on the dog, that'll work better than. But this is fantastic for your dog training, and they come in various sizes, like 4 foot. 4 foot would be good for public obedience. 6 foot is good for your just general all-around dog training. This is 15-foot leash here, and I like to have, they roll up real nice and you can fit them in your pocket. These are kind of like a retractable leash but manual. So instead of having a retractable leash where it rolls itself up and lets line out through a little box, you have you have to do it manually, where you bring the leash in and let the leash out. And this is really better because with the retractable leashes, they're kind of made of this thin, like ribbon material sometimes that can break or can be stripped, So in some situations it's good, but most of the time this is going to be more ideal. You just have to handle the leash more. These are good for you're practicing down stays, because you got a lot of nice extra leash so that you can, like, let's say wrap it around a tree. With a 6-foot leash, you can't really wrap a 6-foot leash around a tree very easy, but you could put this loop over the post. Now when you're using this leash, I don't recommend putting it over your wrist like this, because if you're not paying attention and you get jolted by the leash, then it's gonna hurt. So you want to be kind of holding the leash like this more so. And so when you're using this leash, you want to kind of just be letting it out gradually, and then when you take it in, we want to just be taking it in and letting the whatever we have left kind of drag along the floor. I never really do this with the leash, because and kind of like roll it up, because sometimes you have to let out real fast and it can kind of get in the way. The only time you might do this is if you're worried about it getting caught on like something inside of a store, because you don't have your 6-foot leash on you, but you'd have this. But yeah, this leash, you know, allows the dog to go around and have more freedom around you, be able to go from tree to tree, or you know, run around easier. So this is a 1-inch thick nylon, and again, it's got the nice brass clip. Now the way you roll this up is, you can zoom in on my hands here, is it's nice to roll these up, because if you just leave them on the ground, they kind of get all stiff and stale. But if you do it this way, then it'll be rolled up. So the trick is, for me, is I grab it like this, and I kind of roll it like this. There you go. And I get about maybe about 10 of those in, till I get to about here. Now I can grab the leash like this and just turn my wrist over, and it rolls up fairly fast from here. And I can also tighten it like this. And now it's all nice and stretched in this ball and compressed, and I can fit it in my pocket, and whenever I take it out, it's going to be nice and flexible and clean. Next time I take it out. Then the 15-foot leash is also good for like following. So we'll do more on following in another video. These 50-foot leashes are really good for developing field training, and I use this for my e-collar training a lot, when I want the dog to be able to get beyond, you know, beyond a 15-foot leash. I'll connect the end of this to my 15-foot leash, and I'll let the dog, and this is a 50-foot leash, by the way, but this will allow the dog to be able to get a good distance from me, so that when, let's say, the dog is 60 feet away, I can recall them from that distance, and they're used to recalling. They'll get used to listening to me roaming, you know, even when they're that far away. So it's just also really good for developing recall. So you know, if you're 75 feet away and you want to recall the dog, this helps to make sure that the dog is safe when you're recalling, because you want the dog to come to you. You don't want the dog to come halfway and then run off. Or this will help if you recall the dog and the dog doesn't want to get up out of, let's say, a down stay to come to you, then you can have some leash to do a pop in it and encourage him to come towards you. So this is great for that. You could also use this at a park, or like if you want to practice letting your dog roam around you off leash, but you don't want to completely take them off leash. You want to give them the range and the fun of having the freedom of being, you know, beyond 15 feet. You know, you can use this. So my favorite collar is these buckle style flat collars. They've got a nice biothane nylon, biothane covered nylon, and the way, you know, you put them on dog is you put them over your dog's neck like that, and then it goes through here, under here, and you got this nice buckle here, and that's never going to come undone. It's very strong, versus, you know, like a plastic clip, which could technically get a crack in it and just pop open. So those are not as ideal, but I like this because you can also easily adjust it and tighten it if you need to. And this collar also has a reflective stripe, which is the very, very reflective at night. So if your dog is out in the field at night, or you're searching for your dog, you can just take your iPhone or your smartphone and use the flashlight, and that'll be enough from your phone to have this light bounce back at you. It's really good. It would definitely be helpful if, like, your dog had an all black coat and you put this on them, you know. So we got 1 inch thick and also 3/4 inch for your smaller dogs. These are gloves. They're sort of like a weightlifter style glove. But I would like to use these because it'll help your hands ache a little less when you're working with a dog or doing dog training. But it's got these nice pads on the inside of your hand. So let's say you're walking your dog and your dog's pulling really hard. Then with my bare hand, I'd have to grip the leash a lot harder. But with this nice glove and pads on the inside, that's not really going to slip out of my hands very easily, and I don't have to grip nearly as hard. You know, and if I have to do a pop correction, I've got some support with this strap here around my wrist, and you know, it's going to work good. And also, if you don't want your hands to get all calloused up from handling the leashes, this glove will save your hands. Now, as far as e-collars go, I like to use the Dogtra brand. They have their collars are incredible, accurate, durable, and come in all different sizes for any weight of dog. So they're the high end brand, you know. So you know, you wouldn't want to like pay for anything lesser than, you know, the high end brand. That's what I always say, because this is gonna be like a great investment and a great tool for you and your dog and it's gonna last their entire life. So definitely want to invest in a quality collar. So now, if you want to teach your dog how to do fetch, I like to use these chuck-it. I use these chuck-it tools here. When I'm doing the fetch, I like to use Kong balls that have a squeaker in it. And when the squeaker is really good because it'll help get the dog's attention even from a distance. So the squeaker ball can be really helpful, like if you need to recall your dog or get your dog to come to you, you know, like hey, got the squeaky ball, come here. And that's gonna motivate them more than you just having a ball without a squeaker, or, you know, like calling to them. I always like to have two of that look the same. So the way I get the dog to retrieve the balls is I'll throw one ball out for them, and then they go grab the ball and bring it back. And so they go out to grab the ball, and then it's saying like, hey, I got this other squeaky ball over here. So then they turn around and come back, and they look up, and, you know, it's not really good to kind of it's not good to try to pry the ball out of their mouth, because then they feel like you're taking the ball away from them. You know, they're like, you know, feel like they're having to give something up. But we don't want them to, if a dog is possessive over the ball, you know, and and they think they have to give the ball up when they bring it back to us, then they might end up just not bringing it back to us and going off somewhere to chew on it by themselves, or they might not just bring it. They might not retrieve it at all, you know. But what you want to do is when they go out to grab the ball, you bring them back with this ball, and they're like, he has another ball, you know, and they bring it back. And so what you do with your other ball, is you squeak the ball over your dog's head. The dog looks up, and the dog drops this one, and now just from squeaking over their head and they drop the one they had, you throw this one, they go out and grab that one, and now they're going out and get that ball, and you use this ball to get them to come back, and you just swap them out as the dog continues to play fetch. So that's how I do that. If I want to do tug with a dog with a soft bite, I'll get one of these Durafoam yellow balls. So those are really good for for puppies, or for trying to promote a dog to play ball. It's got a little rope on it, and that can be helpful for if you want to whip the ball around at a certain speed. You can make the ball even more exciting by attaching a rope to the end of it, and you can be like this. And now they're chasing it. Let's say if you've got a puppy that loves to chase the ball, you don't have to work nearly as hard moving the ball around fast if you put it on the end of a little rope or line like this. So that's the ways I use this ball on rope. And this is for much harder biting dog. This is basically a Kong with a rope I made for it that attaches to it. And again, these are chuckets. So, got this one is like a normal one. This one, I'll throw it a little bit further. So with this one, I'll be able to throw it like that, and it'll bounce. With this one, it'll just you can send it really far. So, yeah, works great. Now, these are our pinch collars. I use Hermspringer only. They're the best brand. You wouldn't want to use a lesser brand. And we have a whole video on how to understand the pinch collars, how to put them on, and how to use them. So we can share that one with you. And so we can have a more detailed explanation on how to use these. This is a Martingale collar that I use. And if you get a Martingale collar, you want to get one with a clip. And basically what a Martingale collar does is you put it on, and as you tighten the Martingale collar, as the dog pulls on the leash, the collar tightens. So this can be very helpful if you want to teach them to walk on a leash, and let's say your dog is known for trying to like flip around and trying to get the collar off. Like they don't want to walk on a leash and they want to go, then with the Martingale, when you put it on them, as they're pulling and trying to get themselves free, it tightens even more. So you don't have to worry so much about them getting out of the collar like a flat collar, because with the flat collar is not tightening at all. I mean, we can put this flat collar as tight as we need to so they can't get out of it. But and let's say if this collar was too loose on the dog, they can kind of flip out of it. But with this one, we put this on snug enough. They definitely can't get out of this one because it's going to tighten the more they try and pull out of it. So, I use the Martingale a lot for teaching them, you know, sit and down and introducing them to leash pressure. Because it's nice for them to kind of put this on them first before I start using the pinch collar on them, so that they have like have a little bit of understanding before they get, you know, before they get a pinch collar. Now, if you're gonna do service dog work, then you'll want to get a nice vest like this, one that's noticeable. I like the red. Some veterans, they like the black because they don't want the red to stick out, like stand out as much. But for me, you know, if you have red, then people are not going to want to touch the color red as much. And, you know, so you have with the vest, you know, you might have issues with people petting your dog without asking, but they see the red and they're like, oh, okay, maybe I should ask first. And also with this one, you can get nice Velcro patches, you know, with nice clear letters: service dog, training, service dog, do not pet. And also, this vest isn't like one of those a small vest. It's gonna cover most of the dog's back, so it's gonna be very noticeable. I don't prefer the like green or, you know, army pattern ones because, you know, it kind of blends in to the dog's fur. So if you want to make sure that nobody's coming up to touch your dog, then a nice red collar is good. But, you know, if you don't want to be seen outside the crowd, then a black one's will do just fine, as long as you got the patches. The ideal dog training treat for me is Bill Jack dog treats, and the dog training treat you want is one that they can eat instantly, and that they don't have to chew if they decide not to, because you don't want to give them like a dry biscuit where they eat the dry biscuit and then they have to either chew on it for like 5-10 seconds, or they decide not to chew it at all and then they have issues coughing it up, which won't be good. So you got a nice can you see that? A nice soft treat, squishy, holds its form good, and then they instantly eat it. And of course, you got your smaller treats for your little dogs. Now, I like the kind of training pouch I like for treats is the one that you can open up easily. You can stick your whole hand in there, no problem. Grab your treats. Here's your treat doggy. Oh, he didn't finish them. I can easily put the back in. Push this to close it, and it's got like a little pouch here where, you know, you can fit a couple of tennis balls in there and equipment. Say we want to put a little pinch collar in there, and you're still good to go. And it easily goes around your waist. See? And yeah, that concludes.